Hey guys, so today I have a haul for you. I did quite a bit of shopping over the holiday weekend. My husband had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off from work. So yeah, we did a lot of shopping. And he got some things too at Primark. And so we went back there because we needed to exchange something that didn't fit quite right. And yeah, make sure that you try on anything that you buy from that store because the sizes aren't consistent. Like, even if you know, like, oh, I'm always such and such size. No, it depends on the style. It depends on the cut. I mean, it just depends on a lot of different things. So always try your things on because we had to go back because my husband had the wrong size in a jacket that he had bought the week before. So if it wasn't for that, we probably wouldn't have gone up there because that's quite a ride from where we live. Anyway, um, because he needed to exchange that jacket for a larger size, I ended up getting a couple of tops from there. And I'm so glad. To me, that was like a blessing in disguise because I love, love, love the two things that I got. So let me back up so you can see them better. So I got this navy blue top, and it's got almost like an embroidery type thing across the top of it. It's like a sheer panel almost with like an embroidery type situation, and then it has the same thing on the bottom so that you've got just a tiny bit of skin showing through, but it looks so pretty on. And I mainly got it to go with those navy blue shorts that I showed you in a previous video, and it looks really nice together, those two things. And then the other top that I bought, I haven't worn this yet because it's got like 3/4 sleeves on it, and you know it's summer now, so I'm waiting for a really cool day to wear this. But this is a little different than the type of thing that I would normally pick out. So this is what the neckline looks like on it. So it's very, very sheer across here, but then you get the solid material like where the top of your bra would go, and then it's solid all the way down, and then it flares out at the bottom with this other piece. The sleeves, like I said, are like 3/4, but they're completely sheer, and it's got these floral print accents on it. So I think I had on a black bra when I tried this on, and it looked really nice, just like that. But you could always put a cami over your bra if you don't like the way that looks, but it actually looked okay with just the bra. So I got that, and I bought some black pants from Primark that I had showed you in a previous video, and it looks really nice with the black pants. I think that's what I had. I had on a black bra and black pants when I tried that on, and that's what kind of sold it for me because I already saw how I would be wearing it. So if you have a Primark near you, then you know that their clothes are really affordable, really stylish and trendy, and I love that store. I wish that we had one closer to me, but you know, maybe someday because they're doing really well here in the United States, so they'll probably be opening up a lot more stores as time goes on. Now, in case I didn't mention it before, at Primark they also have makeup. They have their own line of makeup, but they also carry three brands that you're probably familiar with. They have Wet n Wild, Milani, and Jordana. And they have pretty much all their products, so they're very large displays. So if there are any items that maybe your local stores don't carry of those brands, you can find them at Primark. So I took a look at the Jordana display because I don't really have access to much Jordana. They have a few things at Walgreens, but my Kmart is gone now, so I can't get Jordana there anymore. And so I don't really have access to Jordana much anymore, and I always have liked their products. So I got one of their powder eyeshadow palettes. I have not tried these because up until now, the only way that I would have been able to get that would be to order from the Jordana website. So it's the Jordana.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's the Jordana Powder Eyeshadow Collection, the Made to Last eyeshadow collection, and I got the one called Make Me Mad. And there's what it looks like. So you just get 6 shades in the palette. And I think this was around $7, so a little more than $1 a shade. I had this on in yesterday's video in my mini reviews of new drugstore makeup collection. No, not collection. Mini reviews of new drugstore makeup. I had this palette on in that video, and that's all I had on. So you just get six eyeshadows, and the color selection is really good. You get like a creamy beige, and then a warmer beige, a brown, is this white? No, this is another beige, less yellow than that one. And then you get a pink and a dark gray. So I really like the color selection of this, but the texture of these eyeshadows for the price point of this palette, fantastic. Let me swatch a few so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's the first 3. So see, they're not like patchy or anything like that. They're very pigmented and smooth, and I really like this palette. So if you have access to Jordana wherever you are, it's really nice. And that's what they look like swatched, those 3. But yeah, really, really good for the price point. So I'm really glad I picked this up because this was a total impulse buy. But I just was over in that section looking at the makeup, and I was like, oh wow, they have all the Jordana products. So that's cool. So another place that I went when we were at Burlington Mall, of course, was the MAC store. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I only had a few eyeshadows left to get of the MAC eyeshadows that are permanent. I've been collecting them for 8 years now, and the only reason why it's taken me so long to get all of them is because I collect them in the pan form, and you can't get those at MAC counters. You can only get them at MAC stores. And there aren't really that many MAC stores around, and I don't have any close by to me. Now, of course, you can order them online, but I don't like to order online, and I talked extensively about that in recent videos, why that is. So now I don't have to worry about it anymore because I have all of them. So I'll show you the ones that I had left to get that I finally have. This is Swiss Chocolate. It's a warm brown. And I think I will just swatch these for you on my finger. Okay, and the next one is called Vapor, and it's a sort of a creamy light peach shade. It's I have it on as my brow bone highlight and my inner corner highlight, and I love the texture of this. This has the most beautiful texture. And I don't remember ever hearing anybody talk about this eyeshadow, but when you apply this, it just goes on your skin so nicely. And it has a little bit of shimmer in it. So to me, this is just a really beautiful highlight. So that's Vapor. And the next one is going to be a challenge to work with. The next one is called Passionate. And this is a red. And so that should be quite interesting to see how that goes. It's sort of a pinky red though, so that might be a little bit easier to work with than just a straight up red. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get really creative to work with that. And this next one is also gonna be a challenge. This is called Kelly. And I don't know, I was kind of surprised when I saw some of these because they didn't look like what I had pictured in my mind based on the name. Because to me that isn't really a Kelly green, but I like it. I like the shade of it. So that's Kelly. So I don't usually do colorful looks, but I do them occasionally. So I will use the more colorful ones, but just not all the time. And speaking of colorful, this next one is called Navel. It's a really deep, dark blue. And I believe that Kelly, Passionate, and Navel are all matte shades. So I'm not really thrilled with the way this one swatches. Blues seem to be a shade that companies have trouble with, but see how it's sheared out in the middle? So I don't know how well that will apply when I use that one, but something like that, I might just use it like as a liner or just a little bit in the outer corner. I don't think I would be using like a ton of that in a look, but it would be pretty like as an accent color. So I got those 5, and then I only had 2 more left to get, and as soon as I said that, I knew it was wrong because I remembered how many I had purchased. There was one more that I got that is also a matte and a challenging color, and that is called Red Brick. And it's like the color of bricks, but maybe just a tiny bit more muted. But this one is matte also. Ooh, that swatches really nicely. So yeah, that's going to be a challenge to use as well. Okay, so I got those 6 shades at the MAC store at Burlington Mall. And then I only had 2 left to get because they didn't, the last 2, they didn't have them in stock. So the next day on Sunday, we went to a different mall with a MAC store. We went to Natick Mall, and so I was able to get the last 2 colors there. So now I don't have to have this in the back of my mind, because when you start collecting MAC eyeshadows, I don't know, it's really fun to have all of them and be able to choose which ones you want to use in a look, or if you see a reference to it online and then you don't have that shade, it's like, oh. So many times there were certain combinations that I wanted to do and I wouldn't have the right ones, and so this is great. I'm going to have a blast with this. So the last 2 that I had to get were a Dazzle Light, which I'm kind of surprised that I didn't have this one before because it's sort of a basic highlight shade. It's like an off-white, shimmery, goldish, beige-ish highlight shade. So that's Dazzle Light. That swatch is really nice, so I think that will work out nicely. And then the last one is Gesso or Gesso. Not really sure on the pronunciation. Someone had said in a video that this is discontinued, and that is not true. So if you saw that video, then no, that is not true. This is not discontinued. So it's a matte white. And I have used this since I bought it. And very, very pigmented. Very, very pigmented. I'm gonna put this one on my hand just so you can see the intensity of that. So that's either Gesso or Gesso. I'm not positive on the pronunciation. So that's it for the MAC eyeshadows. Now, while I was at Natick Mall, we were walking to the MAC store, and I got the shock of my life because right before we got to the MAC store, I saw another store that I didn't know that we had in New England. What I'm talking about is there's a NYX store at the Natick Mall. I guess it's been there for a couple of months because I asked one of the people that I talked to there. And what that means basically is that every single thing that NYX sells is in that store. Because when you go to a place like Ulta or Target or CVS or any place that sells NYX, you're only seeing a percentage of what is available. So if you go to a NYX store, they have everything. Now, I was totally unprepared for this, so I wish I had known, because then I would have looked at what I have in my collection for NYX. I would have looked at what is available at stores that I can shop at on a daily basis, and I would know what it was that I wanted to get that I wouldn't be able to get elsewhere, but I was totally unprepared. So I really didn't know what to get. So one thing that I got was just something that was brand new that I'm going to do a separate video on, and I'm going to do like a product review video. So I got that. And then the other thing that I got was I just picked up another NYX brush because I love their brushes. And sometimes if you go to Ulta, because as far as I know, Ulta is the only place that you can just walk in and buy a NYX brush. The stock that they have on hand isn't always that good. I mean, what I mean by that is they don't usually have enough. So I was really happy with the NYX brushes that I already had. So I just picked up another NYX brush. And this is the NYX shader brush number 13. Used it for the first time to do my eye look today. And wow, is this a great brush. I really like NYX brushes. So now I have this one. I have a foundation brush, and I have a crease brush, a blending brush. So really, really glad I got this. Number 13 shader. Yeah, you need that. That's going to be in my little jar here. I have this jar that I keep on my table, my vanity table, and it has my most used brushes in it. I should do a video about that sometime because I have tons of brushes, but there's only a very few that I keep right in front of me on a daily basis. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I got. And I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it when you do. And that's it. See you next time. Bye.